Good morning, everyone. I'm Quỳnh Trang, a reporter from AFEO, Essence for Environment Organization. I'm very honored to be here with you to introduce three major participants today. First of all, the Minister of Natural Resources and Environment, Thư Trang. Next is Khánh Linh, an environmentalist. And last is a resident living in a polluted area, Hải Yến. So now what I want to talk about today is the air pollution. Let's start by taking a look at this. Breathing the air of our streets, of our homes, and of our cities has become a public health hazard, even when it is invisible. It kills 7 million people worldwide every year. It attacks our health, undermines our well-being, and affects all of us in many ways. As you know, the air quality index above 100 is considered unhealthy, while it reaches 344 in Hanoi. Too terrible. It scares me when the shower haze spreads in the sky of Hanoi every morning. Khánh Linh, do you have any particular views on the routes for this matter?
Well, starting with the driver of this issue, we can say it is temperature inversion. The last gap between day and night temperature causes a difference in temperature at ground level in comparison to higher altitudes, creating an inversion. So it makes air pollutants stuck at the lower altitudes, slowly worsening the air quality.
What do you mean by air pollutants? Where do they come from?
Well, to understand, let's look now at a scientific definition of air pollution. It is caused by solid and liquid particles and certain gases that are suspended in the air. A good example of this is PM5 dust, which can come from vehicle emissions, industrial light, and constructional activities. Another cause is household waste, which contributes to a great amount of carbon footprint.
That's for sure. There is no doubt that transportation emits more than half of nitrogen oxides in our atmosphere, resulting in global warming emissions. So people should be encouraged to lessen the use of individual vehicles like cars or motorcycles, I guess.
I also see that in the place where I live, air pollution is happening every day. Some alarming problems, for example, dust and emission from areas with mining activities, construction material processing, cement factories, food processing companies. This makes most of the people in my place feel uncomfortable because they have to observe those things every day, which affects them and their families.
Additionally, domestic waste, together with the booming population, is another cause of air pollution. People tend to throw away everything they don't need, especially like leftovers. Something like plastic bags, which are non-biodegradable, take years to decompose. So only by saying no to plastic bags can we save the environment. Well, what reaction would you have to deal with the nuisances, Kuchan?
Yes, about that, as the Minister of Natural Resources and Environment, I have issued a lot of these problems, especially in heavily plastic infested areas. Even though it's still a work in process, it has been bringing positive results to the people.
You say there have been efforts to improve the air pollution. Even so, I don't see that in our neighborhood. I will point out to you a terrible air problem that we are suffering every day, especially in terms of health. There have been a lot of children between the age 1 to 10 who have had respiratory problems. In addition, middle-aged or elderly people also suffer from cancer, such as throat cancer and lung cancer. and even die from inhaling too much toxic gas.
On the other hand, to a greater extent, air pollution is closely associated with climate change. Pollutants like different components of particulate matter, as I mentioned before, can have either warming or cooling effects on the climate. Climate changes and the effects of global warming seriously impact multiple ecosystems, current problems such as food safety issue, ice and iceberg melting, animal extinction, and damage to the lands. What does this mean for humans? In the event of danger, the consequence of air pollution can be severe for mankind.
So, what are some ways do you suggest to improve the air quality?
Well, in my view, there are a number of actions that could be taken. I think the best idea to work it out would be encourage people to opt for public transportation as much as possible to reduce emissions. At the same time, some factories should have proper treatment of industrial waste, and the local authority should effectively invest in treatment systems to avoid burning plastic waste.
Yes, actually, I have run an inspection and conducted that the people take part in increasing the amount of CO2. Many residents burn waste at alarming rates without proper filtration network. Like the environmentalists say, um, that's the reason why the amount of its fume is still increasing despite the emulation of factories. So, after a lot of consideration, I think it is the best that the people in the area fund a filtration system to reduce the harmful gas.
And on question, I want minister and expert to answer is what are the methods to tackle air pollution? How about the illegal access? I think the authorities also should focus more on strict punishment to ban the companies that do not follow the environmental laws. The fact that corporations and firms ignore the rules and harm our environment just to maximize their profits has long existed, but hasn't been resolved yet.
First, I would like to say that I am very sorry to hear such horrible news. I have been aware of the situation for quite a while now. Many of the provincial facilities release harmful chemical fumes that affect the surrounding citizens. We have addressed this problem with those companies under the impression of prosecution.
I hope that you and the government will take the most effective measures so that the situation of air pollution will be better improved in the coming time in order to minimize the negative impact from the problems.
Well, to conclude, I suppose that this matter will subsist on intricate and long-standing features, so everyone has to take responsibility to the ecological preservation. Well, through our conversation from different perspectives, I hope all of you will be more well informed about the air pollution threat to our Earth and to know more aware of your obligation to this problem. Once again, thanks for the time today. This is the end of our role play. Thanks for watching.